Hi everybody! Welcome to Healing with Numbers here on Instagram, and this is also Healing with Love on YouTube. So welcome to today's 7/7 portal energy reading. And let me tell you, the month of June was a doozy, but let's just get started. Let's just jump into it. So immediately I was guided to do some Reiki. So what we're going to do is we are going to do a little bit of Reiki. So just be open to receive. Take 3 deep breaths from the root up to your crown. Just kind of just breathe it in from Mother Earth up. And as soon as we're done doing this, I'm going to jump into some songs and do some cards. We're just going to talk about what's coming up on the 7/7 portal. What is coming through this doorway? Okay? So here we go. And before I begin, please say out loud or in your head, I accept this Reiki from Maricela. We're just going to purge out the last 6/6 portal. We're going to close that door. Finally closing it up, moving into the 7 doorway. Okay? 6 was all about balancing and nurturing ourselves, nurturing our family, nurturing our projects, and now 7 is all about introspection. This is about us. This is about going inward. So here we go. And this will reach you in all dimensions of time and space. Okay, so sorry, excuse me. Here we go. We're going to begin. So I immediately, okay, let's talk about 7/7. Okay, so we've got, this is the 7/7 portal, and we know the 7 is all about truth. It's about our own truth. It's about introspection. It's about going inward for the answers. It's about having faith in yourself, in others, in humanity, having faith in the master plan, right? In that, the master plan that you created, your divine blueprint. Let's see. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to have a few of you here this early. So here we go. So we're talking about the 7. Now, let's break it down. So it is a 7-day. So, you know, I was talking about how this is all about introspection, how it is about having faith in yourself and others, but it's about speaking your truth. And speaking it in a kind and compassionate way, I always say kindness, truth without kindness is cruelty, right? Because you can, you know, if you're walking down the street and you see somebody and you think they're ugly and you just say, hey, you're ugly. That was cruel, right? Though it might be true for your eyes, maybe somebody else sees it as a beautiful person. So, you know, just because you are seeing things a certain way doesn't mean that that is the actual truth, right? And the only way that we can actually see the actual truth is when we go inward, right? Externally is, you know, there could be illusions all around us. And, you know, let's say 2 people are standing on this side and this side, and on the ground you've got you know, an 8, and one person is seeing an 8, one person is seeing an infinity sign. Now they're not wrong. They're seeing from their perspective what they're seeing, so it doesn't mean that they are wrong. So a lot of people see things from different perspectives. I know that in this 6 portal, that the things that I had to experience, I had to really be patient with a lot of people, just because they're seeing things, you know. And the problem is that they're seeing it externally, but they're not seeing it internally. So what they're experiencing internally is projecting outward. So I've had a lot of people that were saying, oh, I can't believe so-and-so is treating me this way. Can you believe that they would do this? Knowing the situation myself from an external point of view, I would say, yes, I can believe it because you do the same thing. But they're not capable of seeing that, right? They're not capable because they don't know, they don't have the capacity. When you're not going inward, you're not able to self-reflect honestly about your journey, right? So now when I see people act in a certain way, I go, oh yeah, I do that sometimes, or I used to do that, and that I'm seeing that reflected back at me, because time is not linear, right? So it comes back to you, you know, karma. People think karma is like, oh, it comes back to you later. Well, sometimes you're experiencing karma for something you experienced in the past. Sometimes it's something you experience in the future. Time is not linear, okay? Let's see, what does it say here? That's way. Okay, so now that's the number 7, right? It's the truth. It's a very truthful number. It's a very introspective number. So sometimes you're not able to communicate what's going on out here, because it's more inward. And so today is 7/7. That's the number 14, right? So the number 1 is all about new beginnings. It's about leadership. So I'm seeing a new spiritual rebirth happening with a lot of you. Even if you've already had an awakening in the past, I'm seeing it happening. Another one, like, you know, it's levels. I always see people going up levels, right? You woke up here, you woke up here, you woke up here. Sometimes people take a quantum leap up here, like a huge jump forward. But mostly it's steps, and you'll experience it in the form of signs, synchronicities, telepathic moments, etc. So 1 is about new beginnings, it's about leadership, and it's about originality. Number 4 is about teaching, it's about learning, it's about practicality, building a solid foundation for the future. So taking those original ideas and building upon them, right? And so 1 and 4, 1 plus 4 is 5. So that is all about freedom and adventure. And when you are able to build upon your original ideas, it leads you to this creative freedom, right? This creative experience. So let's see here. Yeah, so this is the month, this is the portal that is going to be a spiritual rebirth for many. If you already had it, like I said, just hold on, because it's going to be a whole nother level. It's like, remember when you were a kid, if you go on a roller coaster ride, let's take, the teacups at Disneyland, for example. I do not condone Disneyland. I am not a fan of Disneyland. If I could tell the world to never go to Disneyland, I probably would. But there's a whole thing about the teacups, right? When you're small, wow, that is a crazy ride. But as you age and you get older and wiser, you get on the bigger rides, and you're like, whoa, that one was scary. And then you keep going, and whoa, I didn't think that it could get any more wild than that teacup ride and that little roller coaster ride. And now you're riding these, it's these huge waves. So I guess it's kind of like surfing, right? When you first learn to surf, take the little baby waves, or you ride the little paddles, the boogie board. So this is going to be waves of awakening. These are going to be big waves. So ride them. Don't let them, bring you or drown you. I'm not saying you're going to drown. I'm saying in the sense of like overwhelm you. Okay. So 7 plus the universal year, we are in a 5. So today, even though it's a 7 date, we are in a universal number 19, number 10. So 1 plus 9 is 10. And 10 plus 0 is 1. So this is the number 1. This is a new beginning, right? So we passed half the year from January to June. We are done. Now we're on the next. We're on the second. We're on the other half of the wave. This is the spiritual, right? So number 10 to me is the phoenix rising from the ashes. The phoenix is finally. Ooh, my phone is getting very hot. Let me get my fan real quick, because last time my phone kicked the bucket. My phone gets super hot. Too hot, baby. I hope that doesn't make like a real like fanny sound. I hope you guys don't hear like a. Can you hear the fan? Okay. So here we go. So the number 10, new spiritual beginning. This number 0 in the 10, it to me is like a halo on its side. It represents 0 point, angelic connections, your spirit team, your spirit guides, the circle of trust. So 7 is the faith seeker. It's all about trusting the process. So the fact that today is not only a 7 but a 10, this is about trusting this new journey that you're on. You're making a decision to start something new, and you have to trust the process, trust the journey. we're at the 10. This is a universal day 10. So Phoenix is rising from the ashes. You're finally shedding this old, right? January through June, we're shedding that. And it has been a very difficult process. You've been connecting with people that have been testing you, testing your patience, testing your compassion, right? Because now you're looking at things, and you're also testing your capacity to walk away from relationships and people that, I don't want to say lower your vibration. I don't like to use that term because I don't know. I just feel that everything is a vibration and nothing is bad or good. But let's say being around gossip and stuff like that. I know in my family, one person walks out the room, they're talking about that person, and that person walks out the room, and that person. And I've learned to, when this starts happening, to remove myself from these conversations, because it does not do anything good for your soul. Okay, so learning to walk away from things that are unhealthy spiritually, emotionally, physically, and mentally. Learning to walk away from them as painful as it may be sometimes, right? Okay, so I got some interesting songs. We're going to get into the songs now, and I only did 7. An 8th song was playing as I was doing it, so I'm gonna throw it in there just for fun. But we did 7 songs today, and they're gonna be fast. So the first one was "Stargazing" by Travis Scott. So that song is about stargazing. That song is about looking up to the sky, right? Noticing the patterns and things, right? Just remembering when you look up at the stars, right? You are kind of looking at just how tiny you are compared to that, and you're just reminded of the grand perspective and the grand view, and it really does open up your pineal gland. If you like to stargaze, I definitely suggest going to anywhere where there is a lot of less light pollution. Okay, let's see. Stargazing, Travis Scott. The lyric that stood out to me was, "The psychedelics got me going crazy. The psychedelics got me going crazy." So I'm seeing a lot of psychedelics. What's interesting is in California, there is a bill that's going to be passed to decriminalize psychedelics. This is LSD, this is psilocybin, this is, any psychedelic, ayahuasca, psychedelic stuff, right? And I would say, I don't know if this is a good thing, especially something like LSD. I'm okay with the earth, Mother Earth, mushrooms and combo and all these things, but something about LSD is a little bit different. If you are not mentally prepared for something like LSD, you can have a very bad trip. So it's about doing the inner work before you begin to dabble into psychedelics and all this stuff, because you could possibly have a bad trip. But if you have been doing the work, I definitely I'm all for it. I definitely condone psychedelics. There are doorways and neurons, especially in psilocybin. What psilocybin does, if you are into, if you've heard of microdosing, it really does repair the neurons in your brain and opens new pathways. So I definitely condone it, and for those that have done the work. So I'm not sure about the, I guess decriminalizing is good, because who needs to go to jail for that? I mean, really, when I think about these types of Mother Earth medicine, I don't think that it should ever be illegal, but that's just me. Okay, stargazing. I love stargazing. Okay. Number 2, "Right Back" by Sublime. Sometimes I pray, waiting for the bright holiday. So sometimes I pray, waiting for a bright holiday. So I bought myself a gun, and I'm right back where I'm from. So this is about, to me, being right back where you started from, right? Trying to move forward, but also repeating the same karmic things over and over again. Like, oh, I thought I was growing, and now here I'm right back where I was. Whoa. And it's a very eye-opening experience to have, right? Let's see. Yes, I just saw your comment. Sorry about that. I just saw the comment about the rebirth. And yes, it definitely is a painful process for many, especially on the physical level. A lot of people will experience their body, pains, stomach aches, issues, almost like a fibromyalgia. It's your body's it's trying to adjust to the new frequency and new vibration, right? So if you have been having a lot of toxicity in your body, or you've been around a lot of toxicity, your body is going to reflect that. So it's about making sure that you put healthy things in your body. If you do put unhealthy things in your body, it's all about balance, making sure you balance it out. In my past, I've put a lot of unhealthy things in my body, but now I'm more all about balance. I make sure that I have my green smoothie in the morning, and I make sure that I at least do some exercise in the day. It's all about moderation and balance. So, okay, so right back, and it's also talking about I'm praying for a holiday. So maybe you've been wanting to take a vacation, you've been wanting to go somewhere, so you want to go back there, wherever back there is. It's like you want to be back there. Oh, I want to go back there. To me, it would be Thailand. I want to go back to Thailand. Just an amazing energy there. Okay, so let's see here. Hi, Estrellita. Yay. Okay, so number 3, Somebody by Depeche Mode. Depeche Mode song had to come through, Gabby. So Somebody is probably my favorite Depeche Mode song. I want somebody to share the rest of my life, share my innermost thoughts, know my intimate details. Someone who'll stand by my side and give me support, and in return, they'll get my support. The lyric that stood out to me, though, from this, yeah, a lot of people are having a lot of the gum mouth thing. Stay hydrated. Something about the water, H2O in our mouth, it neutralizes all of that. So I always tell people to stay hydrated. Try to steer clear from sugar. I had a churro at Disneyland. I took my nieces and nephew to Disneyland, and my mouth could not handle that sugar. It was like I could not explain the feeling it got. It just did. It was like, spit this out. This does not belong in your mouth. Anyway, going back to Somebody. She will listen to me when I want to speak about the world we live in life in general. And though my views may sometimes be wrong, they may even be perverted, she'll hear me out and won't even be converted to my way of thinking. In fact, she'll often disagree. But in the end of it all, she will understand me. I almost said the whole lyrics, but those lyrics from that song stood out to me, because you want somebody who doesn't always agree with you, but they understand your point of view and where you're coming from, right? So it's about wanting that type of connection, wanting that connection. Okay, so we're moving on to Lady in Red, number 4, Lady in Red by Chris de Burgh. Lady in Red is dancing with me, cheek to cheek. There's nobody here, it's just you and me. But I hardly know this woman by my side. So talking about this person that is inspiring, passionate, right? The Lady in Red to me is this passionate woman, because red to me, even though it's the root chakra, it also represents passion. lyric that stood out to me, I mean, we all know what 7 minutes in heaven is. If you go, if you were ever a child or a teenager and you went to a party, they had 7 minutes in heaven, where you would go into the closet with somebody you're supposed to make out or whatever. So Fall Out Boy, and it says, I don't do too well on my own. So I'm seeing a lot of people that they stay in relationships because they don't do too well on their own, whether they feel that they'll never find another partner as good as what they have. But saying hello to good means, saying goodbye to good means saying hello to great. So sometimes we have to let go of things that are no longer allowing us to grow, or that are stifling our growth in whatever ways, in order to move forward on our ascension journey. So if you have a partner that is constantly growing with you, you have found a great, amazing partner. They're constantly wanting to evolve with you. They're awakening with you. But if you have a partner who, let's say you're starting to see synchronicities in numbers, and they just laugh at you or think like that means it's time to move on to somebody who is more aligned with your path, or to being alone. Now, the whole thing with being alone is that when you have spiritually awoken, it makes it much easier to not be around people, because you learn to love yourself and to be alone by yourself. So you don't need other people. So 7 minutes in heaven also represents the number 7, spirituality, the heavens. Fall Out Boy. Number 6, 2 Princes by the Spin Doctors. Yeah, 1, 2 princes kneel before you. Let's go ahead now. Princes who'll adore you. Just go ahead now. So this is talking about somebody who's got 2 princes that want to be with them, and it's choices. Do I go with this prince who doesn't have any money but he can love me, or do I go with this prince who has all this money but can also love me? And it's about deciding to go against the financial stuff, right? The root chakra, letting go of that feeling of having to be supported by somebody, and going after love instead. I know a lot of people in relationships that are only with somebody because they offer support in the finance department, or they have sugar daddies, or all that stuff. There's nothing against that. I have nothing against that. If it makes you happy, great. But if it's not making you happy and it's not fulfilling you, then maybe it's time to look elsewhere. 2 princes. And I'm also seeing Prince, like Prince in the Revolution. 2 princes. Prince is symbol of sign Prince and regular Prince. Okay, number 7. It Ain't Me, Babe by Johnny Cash. And June Carter Cash. It ain't me, babe, no. I don't know the lyrics to that. Be at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. Said you're looking for someone who's gonna love you and protect you and guide you, and I am not that person. So, like I said, it's going back to relationships. If you are, going after somebody, and there's somebody who can, you gotta make sure that they can offer you the things that you need to be happy, right? You're happy on your own, but you know what I mean. Like if you want somebody who is, a protective person, or you want somebody who's loyal or who's honest, or blah blah blah. Your list of things, right? Don't go against your list of things that you want. If you have your list, write your list of the things that you want in a partner. Go outside, burn it, bury it, watch it grow, because the universe will give you that. So always be very specific, because I remember I made a list of things that I wanted, and I wasn't very specific, and I got exactly that, and I was like, oh Lord, I should have been a little more specific. So be very specific in what you are asking the universe for, because the universe will give you just that. Okay, let's see. Number 8 was the I only was going to do 7, but 8 came through, and it was Sugar Hill Gang. To the hip hop, the hip to the hip hop, and you don't stop, rock it to the bang bang boogie. Say up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogity beat. Rapper's Delight, off of Rhino Records, High 5. So I'm seeing High 5 as in like the number 5, so freedom, adventure, transformation, and change. So I'm seeing changing some things, right? And Rhino, to me, represents thick skin. So creating that thick skin to not care what people think about you, right? beautiful pic that I found. I don't even know, but it also, look at that. And keeps, oh Lord, my little thing keeps coming up. So a guitar pic. Somebody playing a guitar. It's beautiful. It's got like all these, it's got red, and it looks like it got a red ribbon. You see right there? Like a little, excuse my nails. I don't ever get manicures. So this is a little red ribbon. All this yellow, all this blue, and this purple up here. So definitely seeing all these chakras. The throat chakra, I'm seeing the solar plexus, I'm seeing the root chakra being healed, because I'm seeing the ribbon as like healing, right? Like when you put a band-aid on and you tie it. So I'm seeing the healing of the root chakra. And I love how the purple, the blue is fading into the purple up here. And the heck, sorry, I should have turned off my notifications and I didn't keep getting notifications. Okay, so we got a guitar. So somebody playing guitar, ukulele, I don't know, anything, a bass, maybe wanting to get into that. Oh, okay, so I found another one of these. Oh, actually, let's go with this one. So it's interesting because I found this yellow octahedron. Yellow represents water, so I'm definitely seeing detoxification. Water. Drink lots of water, especially in this heat. I'm really happy that I turned this fan on, because what in the heck? Anyway, so yellow, solar plexus. We're working on our solar plexus, our power center, being able to have healthy boundaries with people, being able to have the willpower to move forward, the willpower to stop unhealthy habits. Hi, John. Much love, much love. I love that you're all the way in Scotland. Okay, so we got that, and then this was the fascinating one that I found. That really, I mean, it's gonna sound really stupid. It's gonna look really stupid. You're gonna be like, only Marcy could see the meaning in this. But okay, I found this. Of course, yes, I know it's a blade. And this literally was outside my door after I came back from Laughlin. And Laughlin, my trip to Laughlin with my family was a big test for me. It was like a really big test, almost like a level up type of situation. So I found this outside, and most of you might just see a clipper, right? Cutting things out that no longer serve you, right? Well done. Yeah, solar plexus, definitely seeing a lot of solar plexus needing work, because look at how tiny the little ball was. So I'm seeing definitely needing to work on the solar plexus. So drinking a lot of water, doing a lot of affirmations with water. Okay, so let's go back to this. It looks like ahau or uahu, the Mayan symbol. And so I have it right here. I actually saved it, which you guys are going to be blown away by what it means. So uahu, I don't even know how to pronounce it. I'll figure it out right now. It's this little guy. So this little guy. So that's what it reminded me of. And uhu is the last level of the Mayan calendar. It is the last, the level up, the final realization of oneness of everything, realizing that I am you and you are me. And I think that's what this trip taught me, is that my family are all reflections of me, whether it was me in the past or me sometimes now or me, in a past life. They are reflections of me, and I have to love them unconditionally, despite some of the little quirks that some people would probably think are horrible. I guess. Let's see. Yes, we indeed are. Let's see. Hello everybody. Hello. Okay, so I actually want to read a little bit of ahau. So this is the Mayan symbol for ahau. This is ahau. It means the Lord and a flower. So I love that it means flower, because the flowers always represent to me the crown chakra. So ahau would be to me the crown chakra. Today's the seventh portal. The seventh portal is the crown chakra. The seventh chakra is the crown chakra, and to me that is I love watching other people do light language. It's so inspiring, and I feel it on a deep level. So maybe you've been going into light language. And what light language is, it is a frequency. So sometimes it sounds like gibberish, sometimes it sounds like whatever, but it's just tones. To me, light language is toning, tones. And just the sound that comes out creates this beautiful wave pattern that comes out of your mouth. So if you've been thinking about light language or wanting to get into, or maybe record yourself, even if you're just doing it, I sometimes do it when in meditation, like before a meditation, I'll do, and sometimes if the hands move with it. So light language, it means ecstasy, not ecstasy as in the drug, but ecstasy as in when you finally reach that Christ consciousness level, you feel bliss, this blissful state that cannot be described or explained. It's heaven. As the song that came through, 7 minutes in heaven. Limitless bliss. And the symbols are the sun. Let's see here. Yeah, the symbols are the sun, the dove. The dove, speaking of dove, we were talking about Prince earlier. Prince came through with the Spin Doctor song, Two Princes. The lyric that stood out in one of the Prince songs is, I am conscious, I am love. I would die for you. Yeah, tell me what you want to do. Okay, so the stones for this are amber, Brazilianite, and golden topaz, yellow sapphire. So the shadow wisdom, if you are not on the shadow, people think shadow is a negative thing. I think shadow is a beautiful thing. It brings about a truth, a level of truth that we need to hear, that maybe we don't want to hear consciously, but our soul needs to hear it, because once our soul hears it, we're able to implement and work with that energy. So shadow work is a very important aspect of this journey, because you can really transform a lot of things from the shadow. Things come out of the shadow into the light. So limiting self and God. So limiting yourself, not realizing that you are a god and a goddess, right? Putting that title onto somebody else. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's true. Unconditional love doesn't mean you embrace them and accept them into your life. It means that you love yourself unconditionally, to have those healthy boundaries with those particular people. And those people are there to mirror things back to you that you still need to work on. So the fact that I got very impatient with my family was my shadow work. Like, okay, I need to work on patience, because I shouldn't be letting these things affect me this deeply. So they are, your blood family sometimes can be a catalyst for profound change. So gratitude to them gratitude is the key. Gratitude is the secret. Okay, shadow transformation. Be in love's presence, set you free. Examine your concepts of self and divinity. Practice the art of acceptance and allowance in order to embody unconditional love. There it is. Exactly what we were just saying about, I always say you can love somebody and you can love them from across the street. It doesn't necessarily mean they have to be in your life. And I love the how is called the magical child. And so what is magic? Magic, to me, there's two forms of magic. We have magic with a C, M-A-G-I-C, which is all about illusion. The illusion of things. It's not real. You can't touch it, almost like a hologram. Or just seeing a trick of the eye. Versus magic with a K, M-A-G-I-C-K, which is magic of harnessing the elements around you to create profound change in this world. So a lot of sorcerers and magicians and wizards, and they harness the powers around them. I know I do a lot of earth and water work. A lot of people do candle magic. A lot of people do different kinds of ways of working with the elements to bring about the change that you want to bring about. Okay, so let's see. So what a blessing to receive the star glyph. So this is the star glyph separating yourself from others. Whenever you're judging another person, you're creating separation. So it's about, there's a lot of things I hate, I don't like about myself from the past. I have to embrace it and say, I love you unconditionally. Whatever you went through, those were just experiences that you needed to have to be who you are now. Because when I was a teenager, I was off the rails. So I forgive little teenage Marcy and say, she didn't have the knowledge and wisdom that she has now. And she has grown, she has changed, and I thank her. Without her, I would not be me. So drawing a how calls into your life the healing power of unconditional love. Bask in its replenishing radiance. You are donning its light of limitless bliss. Know yourself as divine. Know that you are already the mind of light. Return as a divine child of the sacred to the great central sun. The great central sun, guys. I'll get into that more in a minute. In your every thought and action, radiate the I am presence. Unconditionally accept yourself as you are. Craft your light body and return to a home in the stars that you never really left. Using the current of Zuveya, the circuit by which all things return to themselves. Experience mystical reunion with the source. So when you have a spiritual awakening, you experience this, what Aha was talking about. So I have a feeling a lot of you are going to be experiencing this. It is a profound experience. The 7 Minutes in Heaven song goes very well from it, because you really experience like you are in heaven, and you realize that you are the creator of all this, everything around you, and you're like, oh, okay, I realize I did that, I created that, and you have this profound experience with yourself, Let's see, okay, so be at peace. Receiving a how indicates that the activation of ascension, your solar mastery, is already in progress. So your ascension is already in progress. Stay identified with the power of the sun. Sail on the golden solar currents to your home into the stars. More joyfully toward whatever creates bliss and ecstasy for you. Forgive, release, and love all beings, all creation, as the unconditional caress of the sun. Honor and trust the language of light held within your feelings, the spiritual compass that guides you home. Open your heart as the flower to the sun, and become the same love that holds universes together. Love is the most powerful force in the universe. It can heal and that energy kind of just falls off my arms out into the pillow, or if you have a punching bag, punch in a punching bag, kind of releases that energy in motion, and it brings you back down to your center, to your heart. Okay. You're welcome. Okay, so now we've got that stuff out of the way. Let's get to the cards, guys. Okay, so we're gonna see what's coming through. What animals are we working with? What spirit animals want to talk to us about? I got some 3 cards here. I actually have. Oh, here it is. I want to do the crystal cards mostly, but I'm gonna just do it. I'm just gonna do everything. I'll do whatever I want, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for continually supporting what I do here. And I'm sorry that I have not, the last time I was on here was on the 6th of the portal. That's how tough my June was. My June was a tough month. It felt like the longest month ever. I was like, when is this going to end? Is this like eternal, perpetual, and never ending? What in the world? Love it. The star. So, happy times. Make positive, optimistic, long terms on the right path. So I love that. I love that I just broke into that. Okay, so I'm just going to see what's coming up with the 7 energy. We've got a lot of amazing spiritual energy coming in. I'm seeing a lot of ghost activity. You might be experiencing a lot of ghost activity, whether it is electricity, electronics, lights flickering, your phone acting crazy, maybe your phone battery draining quicker than usual. Things like that are happening. So I'm happy to be out of June, stepping into the 7 energy. I have a trip to the Integratron. I don't know if you've never heard of the Integratron. I highly suggest Googling it. It's an amazing place in Joshua Tree in Landers, California. And it's known for a lot of ET activity. It was created, I forgot his name. Is it John? I forgot his name. But he was visited by aliens, and they gave him the coordinates where to build this place. And it's this beautifully sound, it looks like an octahedron. It's this beautifully sound facility, and they do sound baths in there. And he said it's a portal to the stars. And the last time I went there, I experienced some amazing traveling in my meditation there. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what 7/7's bringing us here. Love it. Okay, the Hermit. I love that the Hermit came through, guys, because what is the Hermit about? He is about introspection. And what is the 7 about? The 7 is about introspection. This is about, finally going inward, right? So my family is visiting from North Carolina, and so soon they're leaving soon. But I'm definitely going to be in this Hermit energy as soon as they go. But it's the number 9, so I'm seeing a cycle ending, this new spiritual beginning, and I love that he's got this beautiful cane that he's holding. So to me, whenever I see a cane, to me it's wisdom, like a staff of wisdom. So he's got the wisdom in his hands. And what else I love is that it has what looks to me like a snake print. So it almost looks like he uncoiled a snake and he's holding it by its tail. That snake energy, that snake wisdom, that transformative energy, that shedding of the old skin. So we're shedding half of the old skin from January to June. It is done. We're moving into this new half, the next half of the year. And this next half of the year is going to be phenomenal in the terms of spiritual ascension and spiritual like wisdom and all the things that are coming through. And I love that Archangel Raziel is here. So I actually I want to discovery, pre-evaluation of plans, going on a spiritual quest. Oh my God, and I am going on a spiritual quest to the Integratron. So that's beautiful. And I love Archangel Raziel because he offers sage advice to spiritual seekers, including guidance about esoteric concepts, magic, right? Anytime I think of esoteric, I think of magic, I think of Thoth, I think of Metatron, right? Aleister Crowley. Call upon Raziel to help you find the richness that comes from meditation She's real tiny, but look at her right there. Looks very much like him. So she has finally crawled to the top of the mountain here. She's crawled up there, and and I love that she's got her little dog at the end right there. He's howling at the moon. Ooh. And I love that there's mushrooms down here as well. Interesting, because I was talking about psychedelics at the beginning, and going on this journey. And once again, the moon to me represents the shadow stuff and the things that stay hidden, and but also working with the moon, because the moon affects we are water, so it affects water, so it affects our movements and our energy. And I like to work with the moon, the lunar cycles, to do things. They always say you release on a certain, whether it's a full moon or a new moon. I think releasing on the full moon and setting intentions on a new moon. So definitely working with the moon. Oh, I love that. I love that came through, because both of these have a beautiful moon. They're both looking at this beautiful moon. So the two wizards are looking at the moon right there. The moon. Okay. Oh yeah. So let's get to. I want to see what we're working on, what we're healing. We already discussed a lot of things about the solar plexus. So what are we healing with, crystal-wise? What do we need to work with? What do we need to work on? Black coral. Oh my gosh, look at that. So what is the moon? It is the light in the darkness. And here we go. Light in the darkness. So definitely seeing a lot of moon activity, moon work. It's the number 33, so I've definitely seen enlightenment, that spiritual awakening. So if you watch the beginning where I discussed the charms that I found, the ahau, the Mayan ahau, represents enlightenment. It represents finally reaching that stage, that the magical child, like I am magic, I am. And so black coral I love black coral. It's very good at transmuting negative energy. It's very good to help you let go of things. Working with your shadows, right? Embracing your shadows and working with things that need to change. I want to see what the animal is for black coral, but I love that it's this beautiful red. It's a beautiful card, and it's an activation card, so you can kind of just gaze at it. I love coral in general, so black coral is beautiful. I think I wore a black coral necklace for one of my the Reiki for shadow work. Okay, here it is. So the animal totem is the dugong tiger. So the dugong, is it the dugong? Is the dugong tiger? Or is it no? Is it the dugong? Is that a whale? I know over here we have a dugong tiger, and it's like some sort of like a whale and a tiger mix. But black coral is a stone of hope. In coming to you today, she reminds us that no matter how dark we perceive others or the world to be, there's always light hidden within it. Everything in the universe is light or love until it is tainted by the perception of man. Black coral lets you know that the new world of light starts with you. Your perception simply has to move to see fear as a lack of understanding rather than a substance, like a brick wall in growth. For whatever reason in life, often we disempower ourselves. The lack of faith, oh my gosh, the lack of faith, because I was talking about how the 7 is all about faith. The lack of faith in self is the first step away from love and often leads to a dark place. Choose carefully in the coming days. See the light in the darkness and you will be free. A fear of the dark is a love of the light. Make a choice to understand, and fear is an illusion we can live without. Gosh, that is a profound, I love this book. It's Liquid Crystal Oracle. I highly recommend. There's 2 books that if anybody ever asks me, Marcy, can you recommend an oracle deck for me? I would recommend Liquid Crystal Oracle for crystal cards. I would recommend the Mayan Oracle for just learning about self and our journey as healers, as magicians. So the key words is in love I am free. So this is going all together. This is like everything is like so synchronized together that I'm almost blown away. I am blown away right now. This is crazy. is light in the darkness, empowerment, confidence, ascended master contact. And this is the thing with ascended masters. Some ascended masters are here on earth. You might even talk to them, you might be walking down the street and they will talk to you. I've had this experience when I had my first awakening. This was back, no, it was not my first awakening. I've had a couple, this was like my full blown, like, whoa, am I in heaven type of awakening? I went to a gem show, and afterwards I went to a thrift store, and this lady who I know was an ascended master asked me out of nowhere. I was just shopping next to her. She said, "How's your journey going?" And I kind of looked at her like, what was she talking about? And she bowed her head to me, and at the top of her head, she was wearing a wrap, and she had a coiled snake on the top of her head. And I understood at that moment that, okay, she's like, she is awake. And the conversation we had was so profound. I was just blown away by it. So you encounter ascended masters here on earth all the time, and some of them are different levels of ascension and ascendedness. They are here. They're here. So, earlier, for the black coral, the dugong came through, and the dugong is about, it's a sort of a whale, I think. I have to Google this. I literally, I'm going to Google this right now. Just because I want to know. I want to know. But the humpback whale, I love that that came through. That talks about ancient wisdom, ancient knowledge, diving deep. The whales and their sound. So I was seeing a lot of meditation, like clearing or sound therapy. So definitely seeing that. Yes, 1010. That's a new spiritual beginning. Do be subtle in your approach when you take in information. Your body will tell you what is truth and what is not, and what is authentic and what is not. So I love the links. I love the links. Look at his little ears. Okay, here we go. We're moving on to the numerology cards. Let's get a couple numerology cards. Let's see. Breathe it in, breathe it in. Oh my God, 44. So I love this. So 44 coming through, its environment. This talks about advocating for the environment. And I love that the whales came through for the ocean, the turtles came through for the ocean. So advocating for Mother Earth. This also talks about building a solid foundation for the future. The entrepreneur, being your own boss. This is also the master teacher card. The master teacher, the master of learning. So you're able to teach and learn. You're able to learn your lessons without, the ego, right? You're able to have a healthy ego and set aside that and say, okay, what am I learning here? Instead of victimizing yourself and saying, I'm the victim of this. I can't believe they were talking about me behind my back, blah, blah, blah. Saying, but what am I learning from this? Who cares what they're saying about you, right? None of that matters. But so 4, also seeing foresight. So the third eye, seeing the future. So clairvoyance. So a lot of you may be experiencing this. I know that I am full blown now. Like I envision something and I see it in my reality a few minutes later. It's that fast. So a lot of you guys are also experiencing this. Like all of a sudden you're talking about something and there it is in your reality. So this foresight is very strong. It's coming through very strongly. I've seen a lot of heart chakra activity as well, connecting with nature. So definitely go outside and connect with nature. Get that heart chakra going. The 4 represents the heart chakra. So definitely working on that heart chakra, working on forgiveness, working on empathy. Okay, and we're getting to we're gonna do our final numerology card here, but I love that we got power number 8 here. The power number. So definitely seeing stepping into your power, right? And fixing not fixing, it's already repaired, but just strengthening your solar plexus chakra, because that was coming through as well. So solar plexus and the heart chakra. Here we go. 47, nasty knot. So 11, the number 11. So definitely seeing once again intuition. So 47, despite how it looks, you can now slip easily out of your current ensnarement. It only looks like quicksand. In reality, getting free is this piece of angel food cake. Leave the drama behind. Yum. Oh my God, as I was talking about all that, like letting go of all this like drama and stuff that's going on around you and not caring what other people think about you, and that nasty knot of entanglement that you might have with family and friendships, right? That entanglement. What is that? Ensnarement. Letting go of those knots that they bind you. Somebody commented on one of the posts that I was talking about. You don't have any the karmic contracts. You are not bound to anything. That is all in your head. You create these contracts in your head, and you decide that you don't want to get out. And somebody commented, "Oh no way! I am bound to my twin flame," and I wanted to respond, but that's their reality, and who am I to tell them that that's not the reality? But from what I saw from my perspective, I didn't see it that way. We all decide. Yes, we are connected, but we are not bound. Bound is tied. I cannot release myself free. Connected is easily like I'm connected. I can easily detach. So nasty knot, and I love this. It looks like a ring. So the connection, I'm seeing the third eye, and I'm seeing the knot in your throat right here. Finally communicating part of your soul family. Though they may not